a working title, but I got it titled A Layperson's Guide to Improving Their Life Through Exercise. Prologue. The hardest thing to do for a lot of people is changing who and what they are. Wanting to change and actually implementing it are two very different things. I know I've been there. There have been times in my life where I always thought about changing some things, like stopping bad habits or even creating new and productive ones, yet never followed through. This short little book is not just for you, but it's also a source of motivation for me to continue on my personal journey of self-mastery and evolution. So hopefully you will find something in these words that will assist you as you go forth on your journey through the twists and turns of life. Coach BT. Now, one thing I do want to say, if you're only reading this to gather inspiration, no, I'll put it like this. Stop reading as if you're only gathering inspiration and start acting. Listen to these pages with the intention to move. Let these words be a launching pad. If you've been waiting for permission, this is it. Begin now. Make a promise to yourself this instant, not later, not next week, that you will take one concrete step toward a better life through exercise. Decide what that step is and do it today. Every single moment you delay is an opportunity squandered. The next time you feel the urge to postpone, remember that wanting and doing are not interchangeable. Wanting is the spark, doing is the fuel. Fan that spark into flame by committing to an action. From this moment forward, you will not be passive about your change. You will enlist love, discipline, and strategy as your partners. You will act. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my very first client and the most influential person in my life, Janie Marie. I still have visions in my mind of me taking her through her body weight and band workouts. Afterwards, we would take a walk around the block. 3 times a week, I had the pleasure of training my mama. It gets no better than that. I love you, mama. Now, if you love someone, show it with deeds. Use this dedication as your own call to action. Pick a person you care about and commit to showing up for them by showing up for yourself. Train with someone, walk with someone, motivate someone, then watch how your life changes and theirs does too. Love should be active. Live that. Part 1, starting the hardest part. Now, I know it goes without saying, but starting out is the hardest part. The biggest mistake people make in the beginning is trying to do too much too soon. And it goes a little bit something like this. They'll set a goal of, say, to lose 20 pounds. And as a side note, 20-pound weight loss is literally the goal of approximately about at least 80% of the people I've come across in the past 15 plus years. Now, most folks always take their minds back to when they felt they were at their absolute best physically, which is basically their 20s and 30s. And I get it. It's natural for us to go back to that period of life, especially if you're in your mid-40s or older. As we age, our bodies change. I don't have to tell you that. That's why it's imperative to stop doing nothing and internalize what I tell you to start or continue your journey with intensity and intentionality. However, most will never get back to the level of physical prowess they experienced in that magical time between 20 and 35 years old. The level of discipline required, as well as the work involved with getting there, is just something that most people are not willing to do. And it's not a knock on them. It's just that level of commitment is just too much for most people to engage in. Just remember, there's levels to this. Don't view it as an all or nothing proposition. Start where you are and incrementally get better. So let's go. And don't listen to this like it's entertainment. This chapter is your marching orders. You will not let the idea of too much or too late win. You will set realistic steps and execute them. Simple as that. Start where you are right now. Do one extra rep, walk one extra block, replace one soda with water. These are actions, not aspirations. You got to do something. You got to do the thing to get the thing that you want from the thing. Accept the truth. You cannot achieve a massive leap overnight, but you can take one small, deliberate step today that moves you forward, and do that step now. So what's the best strategy in the beginning? First of all, it starts with love. What's love got to do with it, you ask? Well, you have to make a non-negotiable agreement with yourself that above all, you will love yourself first and fully. This seems like it should be a given, but most don't make the correlation between self-love and self-care. Now, from my perspective, they are synonymous. When you truly and sincerely love yourself, you will do everything you can to ensure you adequately care for yourself. Now, this care-love continuum does not just exist on the physical plane, but also spiritually, emotionally, mentally, etc. It covers every aspect of your life. The depth of your self-love should be visceral and indomitable. Nothing and no one should be able to devalue the love you have for yourself. If you don't love yourself, can you truly love anyone else? If you don't love yourself, are you able to accept love from others? Now look in the mirror and ask yourself those questions. Now it's important to act on that self-love. Once again, make that non-negotiable agreement with yourself this minute. Write it down, say it out loud, put it on your phone as a reminder. This agreement will be your North Star when laziness, excuses, and fear try to pull you off course. And just say to yourself, I love myself enough to show up daily, even imperfectly, and then just show up. Love becomes action when you translate feeling into habit. Choose one small daily habit that demonstrates self-love. And that's something easy as a 10-minute walk, stretching when you wake up, a nice, good, healthy, protein-rich breakfast, and just do it every day for a month. And watch how your inner narrative shifts when your actions consistently reflect your love of self. Now, as your process of change gets underway, your actions should be measured and calculated, meaning have a plan in place that is conducive to your definition of what success looks like for you. From the start, I want you to live in the mindset of what you will feel like and look like and be like when you are where you want to be at the other end of the first part of this journey. And I say first part because once you get there, you'll enjoy a deeper knowledge of your body and understand the language that it speaks to you. This wisdom will encourage you to take on bigger and better challenges. That's why you must see that outcome in your mind's eye as much as you possibly can. The more you focus on this, the more you will consciously take actionable steps to accomplish your goals. Now look back and apply this thinking to past accomplishments. You kept the desired reality in your mind's eye, did the work to make it happen, and the outcome was what it was. Remember, your conscious mind believes what your subconscious mind tells it about you. But guess who's in control of the whole thing? You are. Now, I need you to get specific. Decide exactly what success looks like for you in the next 30, 60, 90, or even 180 days from now. Write it down in detail, as much detail as you can provide. Saying something like lose weight or lose 8 pounds and be able to do 20 push-ups or walk 30 minutes 5 days a week. You need to set something that's really going to keep you accountable to yourself. Create a weekly plan that maps the steps you need to take. Don't leave it to chance. Set alarms, schedule workouts like appointments, and make your environment support the plan. Put your gym bag by the door. Prep your meals on Sundays. Choose clothes that you feel confident going to the gym in if you're going to the gym to do it. Measure your progress. Record your workouts. Take weekly progress photos. Even write down how you feel day to day. And that's how you develop a sense of self-mastery. You start to learn yourself. You start to feel yourself. You start to know yourself on a deeper level than on the surface that you've always been existing on. It's time to get deeper. And always remember that momentum is the enemy of dormancy. So keep moving, stay in motion. Whatever you choose to focus on becomes your dominant mindset. Your mindset then determines your behavior. This is why it's imperative to direct your thoughts to your desired outcome as much as possible. Part of loving self is having an inner voice that feeds you into love of self. Your inner voice should be the most loving, kind, and caring voice in your life. Your higher self thrives off this love and will in turn reward you with providing the fortitude needed to go forth on your mission of personal growth, development, and eventual evolution. Train your mind as much as your body. Start a daily ritual of 5 to 10 minutes of visualization. See yourself in vivid detail, living the results that you want. Pair that visualization with positive self-talk. Replace harsh judgments with compassionate commands. Tell yourself you're getting stronger every day. Honor yourself by moving daily. Don't give up. And don't think these are just empty words. This is how you reprogram yourself. You want to reprogram yourself and create new habits that's going to take you forward and get you out of that rut that you've been in. Every repetition of a thought rewires your behavior, so use it. Self-mastery requires diligent practice. Every moment of every day is your chance to improve your level of self-mastery. Life is beautiful in that way. There's always opportunities for advancement. Not until you realize that it's all mental will you really be able to comprehend the true power within you. So practice daily, set micro goals and hit them. If your goal is a 30-minute walk, do it. Build the habit with consistency, not intensity, then increase. Get used to what you're doing in the beginning, and then you can increase over time. You don't got to push too much too early. When you miss, reset quickly. Don't debate returning, just return. The quicker you get back to action, the less power the lapse holds. Now make no mistake, your process is not guaranteed to continual ascension. There may be peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows as you navigate to the next level. But whatever the case, be steady and disciplined. Create a contingency plan to put in place when you feel your rhythm is waning a little bit. You gotta expect some setbacks are gonna happen, but you should be prepared for them. Have a contingency plan in place, and list about 2 to 3 things that you will do when your motivation starts to dip. If you gotta call somebody to pump you up, if you gotta do a quick little workout, do it. Just get your mind back into the place that's gonna help you be as successful as possible. When life throws curveballs, don't abandon the game, just adjust your playbook. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about recovery. And as a matter of fact, let's get down to the brass tacks. You have to stop being your worst enemy. You got to stop being complacent. All right? Internal sabotage is real, and we got to recognize it, and we have to eradicate it out of our lives. We got to stop the stories that start with I can't, I never, and just replace them with I will and I can, and I am. When negative thoughts appear, acknowledge them, then act anyway. You are often the only barrier between where you are and where you can be. Remove the barrier by taking immediate, visible, tangible action. If you want to train today. If you want to be healthier, choose the healthier meal now. The world is not against you, neither is the universe. Sometimes we're the problem. We've all experienced periods of inactivity and stagnation, and the time is now for us to accept that circumstances surrounding us will not always be optimal. So it's important to adopt the realization that we will always have challenges to confront, then overcome. And that will enlighten us with the wisdom of our real potential as opposed to succumbing to false evidence appearing real, which is fear. We should confront fear, name it, and then act through it. Fear will present itself as excuses, distractions, and justifications. Call it out. Say that's fear and do one physical action to counter it. Move, breathe, step outside, Remember, courage is not absence of fear, it's the action in spite of it. So keep moving forward, even if those steps are small.